Hey guys, it's Tombox and you're watching MST.TV. This video is going to be my top 10 countdown for the best cards in Battles of Legend Armageddon. But wait, there's more! You guys are getting double the value on this video because we're splitting it between the new stuff versus the reprint. So they got two of their own separate top 10 lists, so you guys are aware of what cards maybe you should keep just in case it actually ages well in the future. Battles of Legend is known to have cards age well over time, and the set itself usually sells out anyway. But this set is a little bit different. Now, Armageddon's reaction is a bit of a mixed bag. The reprints, they are not the most sought after. I feel like they could have put in more side deck based reprints in there, like a Pointer of the Red Lotus. They could have cut out the Salamangreat stuff because they're already foil. It's not really that big of a difference if you give us a reprint foil of that, but I guess there hasn't been a reprint for the Gazelle or the Sunlight Wolf already had a reprint, so I feel like that might have been like an extra slot. The hero stuff, not the most sought after. I get that the set needs to like print exclusive archetypes in there, like the appliancers. They're probably not going to be in the most demand. I know, like just like the Battle Wasp, not the most sought after, but some people will want it. But anyways, enough about me kind of comparing with the reaction of the set. Let's jump into the top 10 new cards, starting with number 10, Afterglow. Afterglow is the surprise burn card, much like Slash Draw, except that it's probably not going to FTK anyone because in its nature you can FTK because you have to draw it as a top deck during your next turn after you've activated the card. It will banish every single copy, you put one copy back, and if it's your normal draw for that turn after, then you get to print them for 4K. You can guarantee the draw by using Galaxy Satellite Dragon to re-top deck the card, but I guarantee you your opponent will kill that Galaxy Satellite Dragon. So this one is going to be a very hard to resolve, but if you come up with a 2-turn kill with it, let me know down in the comment section below. Next we have number 9, Fire Flint Lady. This is a card that I'm going to keep my eyes on because if someone comes up with a 60 card variant for Noble Knights, then it's likely that perhaps we'll see her there as an extender to get into Isolde, because as long as you control war, you can special summon her out. So this is going to give you a free additional body to play with, and I actually really like all these free extenders because I am a combo deck player myself. And yeah, this is going to hype up the Noble Knights, perhaps, but just keep your eye out on it in case there is like a 60 card mashup of an Noble Knight deck, and this is a pretty decent filler to get into Isolde. Number 8, we have Fossil Fusion. I love this card because I'm more excited about this particular archetype compared to Numerons. Personally, I know some of you guys may have differing opinions, but this one lets me play with rocks. Maybe I can shove it into Adamanticators, where you can banish a rock and then any graveyard, as long as you have a level monster that's level 4 or lower or level 7 or higher, as long as you're banishing something like that, you can go into some of those fusion monsters. Works really well with rocks, and if you're banishing from your opponent's graveyard, note that your card is going to be protected from targeting, so it does matter. And this card has self-recovery. If your fusion fossil monster gets destroyed, this card gets to be added back to your hand, so it's a decent recovery play as well. I really like it. I really like the entire like skull fossil warrior monsters because they have some pretty aggressive tactics myself. You know, Jim Crocodile Cook, is that his name? I can't remember his name, but yeah, you know, good on you for getting your archetype finally pushed out, I don't know, like 10-15 years later. Next we have F number 0, Utopic Future Slash. I don't know what's the hype with this card. People are really excited to see it. Are you going to play the Mega Zaborg to boost it up to like 6,000 and double attack your opponent? Feels kind of iffy to me, but if that's your strategy, good on you. But if you're going to be a number collector, this is a card that you'll probably need for your collection. And you can even summon it out with the Zoo package, I guess. But this is not the Utopic Future Dragon. That thing is a beast. That card steals your monsters. And this is not it, so don't get fooled. Don't let someone be like, oh yeah, you gotta have it. You really don't. It's kind of lackluster by this day and age. And number 6, we got a card for Esperoba. This is a Psychic Wave, and you get to do a bit of Jinzo searching by, if you control a machine, I believe you get to dump a Jinzo into the graveyard. And then if you banish it, you get to add that Jinzo back to your hand by sending another Jinzo into the graveyard. I think there's like a lot of little Jinzo plays that you can do with this one, so maybe you're guaranteed the ability to shut your opponent out with Jinzo. Making Jinzo a searchable card almost feels like a Denko Sekka against your opponent, or rather than Denko, you just get like a quick World Decree access that has a body, which is pretty nice. So as for any other tips I can give you guys, I guess you should really pay attention to the exclusives, because if you were paying attention to how the hero cards were, when they were released, they were not very popular and they were super cheap. Like Increase and Ferris, both of them, they weren't exactly worth as much as they are now, and that's why you have to pay attention to some of these exclusives, especially things that can act as generic extenders. But let's move on to the top 5 of new cards. Number 5, Fossil Warrior Skull King. So I really like this card. I think that it is one of the best boss monsters for the Fossil Warrior archetype, and if you use both players' graveyards and fusion summon it out, Fossil Fusion will give it the anti-targeting, which will prevent it from getting veilered and stuff like that. And this particular card effect is something that you definitely don't want to go through, because it special summons out stuff from your graveyard, which can be very problematic. And it's a quick effect too, which makes it a lot worse because of its quick effect nature. If you're trying to use stuff in your graveyard, your opponent could disrupt it and steal it, which makes it a big problem. And a quick tip for you guys playing Fossil Warriors, just remember that if you go into the Warrior guys, they can attack twice, and if you go into the Dino guys, I believe they get double damage or something along those lines. But all of these guys, they pierce, which is why they're very aggressive. And to go into the Dinos, you need to use your opponent's graveyards. If you're going to go into the Warrior stuff, you can just use your own stuff, but you might not get that protection. And number 4, Numeron Calling. Honestly, number 4 and number 3, we have Numeron Network. They go hand in hand. They are money cards of the set, although they're probably not worth like a huge amount in compared to most other cards, but they are some of the more sought after cards out there. And you probably want a playset of these if you want to go into Zexal. Part 1 is that Numeron Calling and Numeron Network, you need both of them, so I don't know which one's going to be worth more. It really depends on if there's going to be some sort of short printing occurring here. But Numeron Calling, you could summon out as many Numeron monsters out of your extra deck. You could summon out like 4 or something like that, just Numeron Gates, and then you can only summon 1 more time after the fact. And because they're all the same levels, you can go into a Zexal, and your opponent's definitely not going to enjoy that Zexal, as they cannot activate anything. And it works really well with Eldritch, and that's also a proven deck that does work competitively. So Numeron Network, Numeron Calling, number 3 and number 4. Now, number 2, this one was a hard choice, and is it really a new card? It's number 39, I can't read this language, and it's, of course, Utopia in the Astral form. And since we've never really gotten an Astral form card as a Starlight Rare, I'm considering it as a new card. Technically, it's a reprint, but hey, I'm going to consider it as a new card. This is a big money card, and I think this is going to be the only print that we're ever going to get of this card. So this is a big money card collector item, and fun fact, it's considered as a foreign card. So fictional languages now are considered as foreign, and you'll be required to have a translation in all regions. Let's be honest here. I don't think anyone in their right mind would actually take this card and play with it. They're likely going to collect it, because why play with this when you can literally play with like an ultra rare version if you really want a high rarity, or better yet, you know, just don't play with this one at all. Like, this is like the thing of me breaking in, you know, Prismatic or Starlight Rare Lightning Storms. No one's gonna have a good time. And number 1 of new cards, 10,000 Dragon. I kind of wish there was like 10,000 dragons in the picture, but it's just a dragon with 10,000 attack. Armageddon would like to have a word with you. But yeah, this is a collector's item, and it's the only exclusive rarity. I think it has red text with like a secret rare thing. But likely to be extremely short printed, and probably going to be the only print. This is to celebrate that there were 10,000 Yu-Gi-Oh cards, different Yu-Gi-Oh cards printed, and this is really exciting for any type of collector. Big money card. I've seen some things like $700 already just for like a pre-order of something like this. If you got the money, go for it. I'm excited to hunt these down by buying boxes, and I'm hoping to know the ratio very soon. And I guess something to note here is that the collector's market. Konami has really been pushing the collector's market since Rising Rampage. And I think it's a really good thing to have collectors in the game where they can expect stuff to actually maintain or perhaps go up in value, which makes collectors feel very safe, but it also makes sure that the stores are getting most of their products bought out, because they like to take a risk, take a chance, and gamble on getting some of these really high rarity stuff. And yeah, it seems like every set's getting some kind of Starlight Rare, Collector Rare treatment. So here's my question to you guys regarding these kinds of rarity, I guess collector rarity. What if structure decks also had a little RNG factor? You get the exact same cards every time, but your chances are, what if you get one of your foil cards in there bumped into a collector's rare. What are your thoughts on that? Would you be like, oh, I can't even get access to these structure decks anymore because people keep on buying out the boxes? Would that be a problem for you? Or maybe people will let the entire structure deck go for a lot cheaper because it'll be open box. I don't, leave it down in the comment section below, and let's move on to the 10 best reprints. Number 10, Secure Gardner. It's a rarity bump, and a good bump indeed, because anyone that's playing a full shiny deck with Almirage, Invocation, all that stuff, their Almirage now doesn't have to link into common trash anymore. You can go ahead and put that into a fireplace, keep yourself warm, so that you can play with this new shiny Secure Gardner. Yeah. Number 9, we have the Dragon Buster Destruction Sword. Kind of late, guys. Nice bump, I guess, but people start to phase this out in favor of VFD. Well, I guess this card's not seeing banning anytime soon until it becomes a problem again. But that's cool. Number 8, Cross Sheep. Shaddoll players can rejoice to get their entire deck shiny now, especially their extra deck. And I guess this is also an accessibility bump because, let's face the fact, this card wasn't easy to pull as a rare. And now that we're seeing a reprint of this, it's good on everyone. I actually really like it. Number 7, Boost Warrior. I didn't even know about this card because I didn't really buy into the Duelist pack of Yusei, but it only had one print, and this is, again, more support for the Fire Warrior archetype. Let's face the fact here, if there's going to be a 60 card variant of that deck, Boost Warrior is likely going to see play because it gets to special summon itself as long as a tuner is on the field. It's a Fire Warrior himself, which means it can go either direction, because if there's a tuner on the field, you can go into Christian Hyclifebrax, or if you have a warrior already, you can go into Isolde. So either way, it works really well with this card. And it's another extender. And number 6, Artifact Sanctum. Why is this Sanctum? We've gotten Sanctum reprinted many times already. And here's another one. So this would be one of those reprints similar to Pankratops, because Pankratops got reprinted to the ground. Within 1 year, it got reprinted like 3-4 times. You got the Ultra Rare, the Secret Rare, and you also have the Common print. Yeah, that's pretty ridiculous if you ask me. But hey, more extra deck locking, the better, I'd say. And why not just put this card in like a Dual Devastator set and instead just give us a pointer of the Red Lotus, which we all need much more. And that card also hasn't seen a reprint either. But, you know, I have a question for you guys right now. Which do you guys prefer in terms of your bump fillers? Do you prefer a bump of a common, or would you prefer them to reprint more staples, similar to like Pankratops? Just reprint it to the ground so everyone has access to it. I would prefer stuff like maybe put an evenly match and just reprint it like crazy so everyone has access to it as well. What are your thoughts on that? Or maybe put it in a structure deck, who knows? But yeah, leave it down in the comment section below, and let's move on to the top 5 reprints that everyone's looking for. Number 5, Madolche Angeli. Madolches have been very successful over this whole time right now, and Angeli is now accessible. This card was very expensive, like $35 for a single copy. Now it has less calories per dollar. Hooray! Or is it the other way around? Less dollar per calorie. Either way, good on us for actually getting this reprint. This is an accessibility reprint. I don't think it's a rarity bump because Ultra Rare, in fact, I think looks pretty good already. Next one is Mecha Phantom Beast O-Lion. I like that this card is getting reprinted, but at the same time, it's also why I feel like it might actually get banned because it's getting a reprint like this, because it's actually used in basically every deck that plays Christian Hyclifebrax. That's unfortunate, but it is what it is. And also, don't forget about Mecha Phantom Beast Auroradon. Number 3, we have Trishula, the Dragon of the Icy Imprisonment. This is the Fusion Trish, and this is the first EU legal copy. And in fact, all the Jump Dragons that we got, Europe, you get to play it all now. So I guess it's good accessibility and one of the more sought after cards. And now you guys can also do some via like generator plays that can rely on this card. Number 2, Invocation. This is a sought after reprint. Even the reprint of Invocation was pretty expensive. Invocation had 3 prints prior to this. The first print was, of course, the Secret Rare from Fusion Enforcers, I believe, and the second one was the Ulti reprint, and the third one was the Super Rare reprint coming from Shadows of Valhalla. Even the lowest rarity at the time was like $30, $30 to $40. Pretty silly. And finally, we're getting another reprint. Let's hope that this one is like a mass bulk card so that it's easy access for everyone, because the point of the previous reprint was to make it easier access, and it still didn't work. So this one probably is going to be one to seal the deal. It took them 3 reprints to get it right. And number 1, finally, this is a card that I've been really wanting to play for a very long time, and this is the prize card reprint. We have Chaos Emperor Dragon of Armageddon, and this is, I guess, this is going to be one of those money cards. Usually prize cards reprint, people don't really care. It's like about $20 because it's easily sought after. Like Minerva was cool because it was only used for like the Minerva based decks, but Chaos Emperor Dragon was basically used in every Dragon Link deck possible. Chaos Thunder Dragon, it was very, very popular. This card is very high demand, and of course with an iconic dragon like Chaos Emperor in there, probably one of the big sell points of this entire set. So all I got for this video, guys, these are my top 10 counts. Do you guys agree with my picks? Is there some cards that I've missed that you think should have gotten more attention? Perhaps like that Tuner Penguin, the Glacial Beast. Maybe you're a fan of the Cardigans. I'm sorry, Cardigan players. I don't read your cards because you are the literal embodiment of reading a textbook every single time I play against you. And I just scoop every time, guys. Not gonna lie. It's really hard to play against you. Anyways, if there's anything more, if you guys want to throw a like in this video, do that. Subscribe, ding the notification bell. What do you guys like about this set? Does this hold up to set like Relentless Revenge? And should there be more collector-based cards introduced? Leave it down in the comment section below. I'd love to hear your thoughts, and I will see you guys in the next one.